Hello, lovely people. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Keep watching. Bye. Hey, beautiful people. This is your girl, JT, Julie, and it has been a hot minute, hasn't it? It's been a hot minute since I saw you, and I apologize. But anyway, I just popped by just to say, hey, how you doing? I apologise I haven't been around. Is that too much? Joshua, what do you think? I haven't been around, but yeah, I'm still here. I'm still working from home. But I just thought I'd just pass by to say, like, hello. Apologise for not being around for ages, and I'm hoping that you guys are okay. It's been a lot, hasn't it? This pandemic is long, and then we have the should we have the vaccine, not vaccine, and all, shouldn't we? Anyway, so yes, I'm still working from home. So home, a year after starting a new job on the 30th of March last year, I am still in that job and still working from home. So I haven't worked an actual day in any office in the last year, which is crazy, isn't it? Yeah, and that in itself, I'd say, that's a whole story in itself about the challenges that has. But I might do a video about that. I don't know. Anyway, that in itself has presented enormous challenges in terms of building relationships. But in those challenges, they're character building stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's good to reflect on yourself and recognise when you don't do things that you're happy about, and how you're supposed to change that, and how you say no, work, and I can't seem to feel like to get the balance of doing, ever feeling on top of your work, ever feeling on top of your workload. That's what I'm thinking. So the challenge is for me to get a better balance, to pull myself away from that computer, and know that what is done, and what isn't done, isn't done. It's a difficulty when you're working in the field of, when you're working with children, young people, and you're working around issues of safeguarding and that kind of stuff. It's hard, and also just even the amount of stuff that, the enormity of the job, but the amount of stuff that you have to do in the job, and as a manager, there's a lot for all of us to do, but obviously the higher you go, the more the book stops with you. So yeah, but I'm grateful. I've got a great team and they're doing great stuff, so I'm grateful for that. But yeah, it's about getting a bit of work-life balance, really. I find myself to be in that spare bedroom turn office far too long. Far too long. How about you? Far too long. So we got to work on that, Jules. We got to work on that. Tell me how you create work-life balance. How do you do that? How are you creating work-life balance? For those of you who are working from home, for sure. We're glad the children are back at school. Woo woo! Yeah, thank you, Jesus. And definitely grateful that they're back into their normal flow of things. Praying for all of you children out there, or families out there as well, because of course any little murmur of a COVID, anybody test positive, and the whole thing shuts down, and then you end up having to do your how many days self-isolation and blah blah blah. And what else has been good? Church has been brilliant. This month is of March. The month of March has been Women's Month, and so women in ministry, we've been leading all the services basically, but yeah, women have been leading services, and it's been great, and it's been really, really great, and I've been feeling really a lot of I've been inspired, and I've been feeling really positive and motivated in terms of women's ministry, and how God is using us as women leaders. We don't deny there's been significant challenges, but I think about some of the wins that I've had, the areas of development that I've had since COVID, since lockdown. across the year, because we have been in this for more than a year now. And for me, as I said earlier, I have been working from home, and while sometimes that has required me to go to office spaces to see some of my staff team or to participate in certain meetings and stuff, a lot of it has been, well, the majority of it's been virtually. And so what that has meant is I've had to learn a lot of things by myself, in that there might be some guidance there might be some process and procedure there, but I've not had the luxury of just turning around to a colleague and say, how do you do that? How do you access that? How do you get on the thing? You know, whatever. How do you get on the database again? How do you find this piece of information? Who do I go to this? Who do I go to that? You know, I've not been able to do that as such, because that would take me, because we're doing everything virtually and by Microsoft Teams, I'd have to call somebody, I'd have to, you know, bother them really in their day-to-day work, and they've got things to do as well. And so much of it I've had to be able to find out for myself, not having to rely on other people. So again, that's developed some, you know, further developed skills. I am somebody, I think, who uses their own initiative and can get on with things like that. But there is definite value in having colleagues around you and being in office space and interacting, and being able just to pop your head around the office door and say, you know, where do I find this piece of information? Or yeah, sometimes some big things that, because I've not had the luxury of having people immediately available to me, meant that I've had to look at things myself and work it out, and therefore has had to, it's taken longer sometimes, no lie, no doubt, but I think a win is that, you know, I've been able to produce under those circumstances. But I think the win has been that I've been able to overcome that, and in my mind anyway, I feel like I've produced quality work despite those pressures. Just the way that we form relationships, whether they're work relationships or not, we kind of take those things for granted. And then this season has really brought those things to bear, that those interactions are missing, those understandings are missing, and therefore your intentions, vice versa, their intentions to me, mine to them, may be misunderstood, because we don't have that fallback really to say we knew each other, we worked with each other beforehand, so we know the intention, we know the tone, what that means and things like that. And you know, there's less likely to be misunderstood when you have a previous, you know, a relationship with somebody, even in the workplace, that preceded this time. So so shout out to everyone who started a new job in lockdown and is doing that virtually, because you know it makes a difference. It really does. And I think for people like myself who are doing that, there is, you know, we must recognise also the pressure on ourselves, because you might not always feel understood or supported. You might actually feel misunderstood and actually unsupported, and you must take out some time to be kind to yourself about that, because it can be very demoralising. I think, as I say, my natural tendency might be to challenge somebody if they're behaving in a way or doing something that I don't think is appropriate. But that doing that virtually is somewhat of a challenge, because things are magnified. Things are magnified in your intention and in your delivery and in the receipt of your delivery, and also bearing in mind as well that that person is also going through pandemic, is also probably having issues within their whole household. You know, relationships are strained. They're tired and sick and tired of pandemic and lockdown, and they're not seeing their loved ones. And all these things adds to, you know, the weight of being understood, being understood and understanding. You know, seek first to be to understand. Sorry, seek first to understand, before being understood. And so I think many of us probably want people to understand us, understand me, and rather to understand the other person. It's been a challenging time, and we are coming through it, and I'm looking forward to opportunity to go out and have a meal, go out and have, you know, a drink, a social interaction, just to be somewhat normal. I'm mindful of the risks of, you know, doing things too quickly, and how that might lead to a further breakout. At the same time, you know, more people are having a vaccine, and hopefully that, well, that will make a big difference to all of us, and the more people that do. And in the meantime, we just got to keep it moving. Just keep it moving. You know, I take it as a practice in the morning most days to do my normal routine, to get up in the morning. I put on my Bible scriptures, and I listen to that, and you know, shower and all this stuff, and get ready, and, you know, do my face routine. And, you know, I might still wear loungewear like this and stuff, you know, in the house, that I wouldn't wear necessarily to work. But, you know, I try to have a general routine, and so it's kind of helpful, and just getting me into that frame of mind for work, and, you know, and well-being. Because I know some people just, you know, they just drag themselves out of bed and just about get on the computer, and that's about it. And, you know, but you do what's right for you. Do what's right for you to do, in order to move through this season with success. Anyway, enough from me. So I hope that you're all okay, and we shall see each other soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Take care of yourself and be good to yourself. See ya.